Hello my lovely friends, how are you all? Thank you for joining me in studio today. Boy have I missed you all. I'm a bit of a giddy kipper today, be warned. I've had a lovely day actually, prepping some demos, having some playtime. So my name is Toni and this is a lovely channel to come and visit to get some inspiration for your card making, home decor sometimes, a little bit of mixed media, a little bit. But it's a lovely channel where you can come and meet some lovely ladies and gents. Come and see me. You can mute me at any time, you can fast forward me and you can rewind me, but the inspiration never goes away, it's always there for you. So if you click that little HD button, that gives you a better viewing experience, and there is a subscribe button. If you would be kind enough to click that, you will get all of the notifications when we're live in studio, right here, all the time, 24/7. I live in here. I'm in my pyjama bottoms below this. I'm only joking, I'm not really. So I will post the makes on Facebook after the live show and you can pop a comment on there. But if you would like to pop a comment on the live video when we've finished the show, let me know. Is it a technique you're going to try? Is it something you've done for a while? Because although I do think I come up with some quite good stuff here at the Stamps by Me studio, everybody's always done it or already done it, so you have to let me know, keep me posted, okay? So let's see who's with us today then. Hi Amanda, Brian, Helen, May, Tracy, Roseanne, Anne, Annette, Julie, Sandra, Valerie, Enid. Hi Enid, thank you so much for my Christmas card, and thank you for all the Christmas cards we've received through the post too. We have had some beauties. They're all in the front of house on a display so everybody can see them. Lots and lots of different designs on there, so thank you so much everybody. I wish I could send you all one. It'd be very costly for me to do that though. I've got lots of friends, haven't I? Which is nice. So in today's studio we're going to touch on a couple of the Academy products still. We're still going with Academy. I'm going to mash them up like we said we would. Just wanted to tell you though, the product of the week, which we do every week, we do at a discounted price, which a lot of you do take advantage of, and it's better for those people whose budgets are not as grand as other people's. So we did put this one on as the product of the week for £10 today, but I'm sorry to say it disappeared like that. It happens quite often actually. So it was this one here. So if you did manage to get this one, then absolutely brilliant, but please don't stress it. I have had a lot of messages saying, have we got any more? And I haven't. I have had a look. I truly have dug deep to see if we've got any more, and we haven't. So what I've done is somebody said, can you do another one? Because, you know, I work, which, yep, I get. So I've popped this one on at £10. So it's exactly the same size. It's her beauty. Very similar to our silhouette designs that we're using in the Craft Academy. So if you've got the Craft Academy one, you probably don't need this one. But if you do like these type of designs and this silhouette where you can fill in texture, you've seen me do a lot of techniques with this one. This one is already on YouTube with the lovely demos and things like that. So I have popped this one on now, and I don't think there's any of this left. Last time I looked, unless some have bounced out of baskets and people haven't checked out. But those are the two that are the product of the week. Now we do product of the week every week, and last week we did like an easel die, which was $39.99, and we did it for $14.99. So if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you know, make sure you do. I know we send out a lot of newsletters, and if you don't like newsletters and you don't like to be bugged or told about things, then don't subscribe. But if you do like to know about, you know, when we're live in studio, any products that are maybe gone in on a sale price or up and coming shows, then you need to go and put that newsletter, put your email address in there, because we are a wealth of inspiration here at Stamps by Me. Not only do we stand here live in studio every day nearly, if it's not me, it's one of our lovely other guest presenters, but we do downloads. I'm live on Create and Craft TV, Claire's live, Carly's live, we've now got Simon in studio. So it's a lovely place to come. So hopefully somebody gives you some inspiration, whether it be me or somebody else. Everybody's good? That's very kind of you, Toni. You're very welcome, Helen. Is everybody good though? I know some people have gone higher in the tiers, but other than that, I think we're pretty used to it now, aren't we? We're just having to get on with it. Bit pants, but we're doing our best. So I hope everybody's okay, and everybody's still keeping in touch with each other and staying connected. So, shall we do some crafting? Because that's why we've come. So have we got a cup of tea or a cup of coffee? I don't like to take a big gulp because you can hear it on my mic. like an elephant. Whoop. So let's craft. So in studio today, we're going to use some Craft Academy. We're going to be using some stencils. So I have, mine's the right state. As you can see, I have been playing. I'm going to be using the leaf and the swirls. These two lovely, lovely stencils. They're black for a reason. You'll see why in a second. So these two lovely stencils. So if you have got them, brilliant. You can sit back and craft along or maybe touch on them later. If you haven't and would like any of the products, all you need to do is go to our website and pop FBL Facebook Live into our search engine, and all the products that we use in Live Studio are there. If they're not there, it generally means they've sold out. Hate to frustrate, but that's normally the case. And this is why we're working on new graphics and things like that, so you're not going hunting and struggling and things like that. And if you did watch Simon's show yesterday, he touched on a new graphic where it came on the screen to tell you exactly what he was using. And you know, we're doing these trials and things like that to try and improve the studio experience, but we're not quite there yet, but we are working on it. Just for you, okay? We just want to be brilliant. We want to be good at everything. And you know, we just want to be fabulous. That's all we want, be fabulous. So first of all, let's grab some cardstock, because I just want to show you a lovely technique. Now I have made 2 cards ahead of time using this technique, but I want to show you how I did it, because I think it's a lovely technique, and if you are making 1 card, you need to make 3. Okay, get all your good stuff out. And if you are bagging them up ready for next year for the fairs, because it's looking like we'll be able to get going again early spring, fingers crossed. Okay, so if you are making 1 card, make 3. So first of all, I've just got lots of ink pads here, you can see. So what I tried to do was I tried to pick all of the, I'll pull them into shot here. I tried to pick all of the really, really bright and vibrant colours that would really give me, you know, that incredible wow factor. You can see I've got some distress in there. To be honest with you, I don't have the bright distress oxides. I only have about 6, and none of them are bright like these ones, hence the reason why we've got a mash up here. I do really need to get some more, to be honest with you. Actually, I need to use what I've got in my stash before I buy any more. But anyway, I've just got a whole host of various colours here, and I just thought if we could make a pretty vibrant background, that's what I'm going to do. So normally we would potentially put onto our mat and spray with water. We would put it on top of our Eureka and pick the ink up, or smooch, or use acetate. But today I'm going to go direct to the cardstock with the colour. So let's get some colours going on. So let's go with these lovely 3. So I've got, and they're all the normal distress inks because they're all in the black case. So I've got abandoned coral, mustard seed and peacock feathers. And Julie's saying she would love all of those inks. I honestly haven't got a lot. I've got more of these ones and the little ones, the older ones, but in relation to new colours, I'm so far behind. But I really do need to use what I've got in my stash, to be honest. So let's use these 3 lovely colours. So I'll use abandoned coral first. So I'm just going to take my ink pad straight to my cardstock, and this is the only way I'm going to get a really vibrant colour, because if we add water to it, it dilutes it down and it dries lighter, but I want it to be really, really bright. So I'm going to take the ink pad straight to the cardstock. So I'm just going to smooch it across here, and you can see how we get that lovely, gorgeous, bright colour. You see that there? Look how gorgeous and bright that is. And then we'll use mustard seed here. And just getting that colour down, covering that white cardstock. Look how bright that is. You would not get it that bright if we diluted it with the spray bottle, which is, you know, a bit... It's nice, but I really want bright today. So peacock feathers. And I'm just going to go back over with my yellow. Just get that really dark yellow in there. And then we'll go back to this one. So we've got a lovely host of colours there. Now you can do this with any colours, okay? Any colours at all. And then just going to quickly dry it. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to use the It's All About You Poppy collection that I launched on TV last week. We're going to use that tomorrow. We're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to use some of the lovely papers and stamps. So I'll just dry this one off. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly dry. We're not heat embossing on it or anything, so as long as it's not like wet to touch. Right, let's show you the technique. So I'm going to take this lovely swirl stencil, and you can see I've got lots of black on it here. I'm just going to pop it over the top, like so. And then I'm going to take a black ink pad. So I've got black soot, but if you haven't got black soot, maybe Distress Oxide black soot might work, but I haven't tried it, so you might have to try that one yourself. But I'm going to go with the traditional Distress ink, the one that's in the black case. For anybody who's wondering the difference between Distress Oxide and the Distress ink, the oxides are in a grey case, so don't pick one up in a shop by mistake, and the normal ones are in the black case, so you can see there. So don't pick one up by mistake, because it's awful, isn't it, when you get home thinking you've bought one thing and you've bought completely the opposite, because they are different. So I'm just going to use one of our blending tools. I'm just going to pop it on top of this carte blanche. Now I could really do with pinning this down. Let me just grab some tape, because you've seen the trailer, it will move all over, won't it? I'm just going to take 2 pieces. So I'm just line it up like so, and then we'll pop this down. That's okay, as long as it's just obviously not going to shift about. I'll try my best to hold it. So I'm just going to have a drink of my coffee before it goes cold. Can you all hear me gulping? I try to do it quietly. It's like eating an apple, isn't it? Or a bag of crisps when somebody sat outside here, you're like, oh, please don't make a noise. So I'm just going to take some of this black ink here. And I'm just going to stencil through. Now this one's quite a delicate one with the swirls, so I found earlier if I put it on and twisted it like so, it didn't move the stencil design at all. So, and that's the great thing about these brushes. Again, you can use them in so many different ways. So I'm just doing like a twisting motion on top of my card here. I'm just covering that whole area. Get that lovely black ink on. Now you don't have to use black. I just find when you use black you get a real pop of colour coming through. But you could use obviously your browns and your burgundies. Your dark greens would work incredibly well. I'm into green at the moment. So I'm just moving my hand along here. And take your time with it, and whilst your stencil's mucky and covered in black, do 3. Don't clean it, put it away and think, Make 3, because it's dirty, and that's why I left mine dirty. This is my 3rd card. So, whilst the stencil's dirty, absolutely do the same technique several times. Just pushing that black, try and get as much black on as I can, because the more black that I put on, the more vibrant that colour underneath is going to be. Hopefully we'll get a nice result. And then any areas where I think I could just add that little bit more and get away with it, then I am going to do it. Let's just get this little bit of yellow covered here. There we go. I think we'll leave that be. So then we just take our tape away, and what you end up with is this incredible bright design underneath. Can we see that there? Which is a really, really cool look. Let's just clean our station here. So it's just an alternative way of getting a really, this would look incredible with Simon's dinosaurs, because they're quite bright and breezy, aren't they? So there's one I've just literally completed there. So I'm just going to grab one here. So I did this one with the leaf stencil, exactly the same. You see that there? So I trimmed this down, so I got rid of all that white. And then this is the leaf one, so I put some purple. So with this one I use these colours. I use this one, and the purple oxide. Where are you? These are the colours that I use. So if you are wanting to do this card, these are the colours that I used here to create this one. And it looks good with the leaves, doesn't it, as well? Do you like the leaves? Psychedelic, yes, Annette. It does look very psychedelic, doesn't it? So it's just another technique using those stencils. So I've got several demos and I'm doing a bit of each. I just couldn't stop really. So let's just set this aside. So here's one that I did ahead of time that's dry, and I cut away most of the white. Can we see that there? So I got a little bit of white there, and it slid a little bit there as well, but it's still really, really effective. So don't bin it, because it'll look lovely once it's mounted onto a card. Right, okay. So let's do two techniques on this one. So for one of them, I've done one ahead of time. So what I did was, remember this one from our Craft Academy, which was the lovely sort of daisy with the banner? You remember this one, don't you? I heat embossed it onto black. Can we see that there? And I just fussy cut it with my scissors. And then I did it again onto a piece of the scrap that was left from this for that banner. Can we see that there? And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue that onto there, look. So I have a coloured banner on my gold embossing. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. I have cut a couple of corners to try and get as much demos in as I can. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to glue this onto here, and then we'll stamp a sentiment in there. Okay, so this is the daisy one that comes with the one with the cat with the Wellingtons, if you are wondering which one it is, which is quite a cute one. That was my favourite, Michaela's saying. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold my piece of banner artwork in place on here. I'm just going to grab one of my earlier stamp sets, and it's, now if you did buy the poppy one, this has got this very font in it as well. We love these sorts of fonts because they work seamlessly in your banners. So I'm just going to use one of these lovely sentiments from here that's going to fit, hopefully. And do we think with love will go in there? Yeah, we'll go with that one. So with love. I'm just going to stamp this one out in black. Just grab that black ink pad. So I've got our lovely banner there, and with love on there too. And then what we're going to do is we will just glue this one flat onto that lovely gold embossed image that we did. So I'm hoping that the Academy, your Academy stamps, I'm hoping that you have been using them. Have you been using them? I hope you have. But if you have just caught the show and you're new to the Stamps by Me studio, the videos never go away. They are actually on the YouTube channel. I'm just sticking that one on there so you can see how it matches beautifully. I'll just hold that up for you. There we go, so you can see how it matches beautifully. I just used that offcut of purple which was left from our stencil design. You know when I said I cut away the white elements? Well, that's what was left, so it was a shame not to use that lovely blend of colour on there. So let's quickly put this card together. So you've just seen how simple this is. I know I heat embossed that one ahead of time, but if you heat emboss 3 images, stencil 3 images, matte and layer 3 images, you've got 3 cards. Your stencil's dirty for all 3. Your heat embossing kit is out for all 3. So always, if you are making one, make 3. So for this one, I've got a piece of black just to make that artwork pop, because I find that amount does make your artwork pop sometimes. I'm just going to make sure I'm popping it on the right way. So I'm just going to pop this straight onto this piece of black here, just with a tape pen. So it looks nice. As soon as you get that mount on there, it looks really, really pretty. Just seeing. We'll mount this onto our pretty card. Now it's up to you which die. I think I quite like, I don't think it really matters, to be honest, does it? Get away with either. Like so. And then this one, I'm going to 3D with some pads. Can we see that there? So look at that. Instantly gorgeous card. Instantly gorgeous. And it's literally not taken 10 minutes maybe. And hopefully if you've done the trick of 3 at the same time, 20 minutes later, I'm just popping some pads under this one here. Just pop another one in this little corner. I watch both channels. Some of my friends are on the other channel, which is nice. Now what do we think about? Shall we go? I'm going to go off. It's going to kill some of you, I know, but that is really predictable. It looks pretty, and if you are a centralised person who likes clean lines and things in the centre, then go for it. But I'm going to go off to the side, just to be a little bit different. So let's just hold this one up very quickly for you. We're just going to get the camera right for you, and then we'll have a look at the next demonstration. And I have got something fabulous for the next one too. A little bit different, and I'm hoping it works, the technique. It doesn't always work. There we go, look. Thank you, Nathan. Look at that. So some sequins or some sparklies around there, and it would look pretty awesome, hey? How easy though, how easy. So if you are batch making, if your neighbour comes round and knocks on your door, yep, I can put one together in half an hour, quite easily. Annette likes this one. Hey, Helen, Pearlywinks are one of my favourites too. Yep, she's lovely as Donna, she is. There's talent, it doesn't matter where you go, there is talent, isn't there? It's absolutely crazy. And for me to stand here and do this for you guys, listen, I know what's going on and around me. There is some incredible crafters out there, some truly talented. I mean, I could stand here all day and telling you about talent. But the great thing is we're crafting together, and that's really all that matters at the moment to me anyway. We're all crafting together. So let's set this one aside for now. Let's move on to our second card. So I'm just going to grab that one that hopefully has dried. I'll just grab my backing card here, look. So I'm just making sure this one's straight. So you can see this time how it looks a little bit different, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to sort of make it a little bit, I don't know, pull it back. So it looks quite kiddified, quite retro, quite bright. But now I'm going to put the woodland stamp on it. How cool is that? But what I am going to do is a little bit of a cheat. So I want it to be glossy, but I've got a funny feeling if I do it in black embossing powder, it's all going to stick to any ink that's potentially wet on here, it's a nightmare. It doesn't matter how much you anti-static, it doesn't matter how much you blow it off with your gun, it still sticks. It's frustrating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it in black, and then I'm going to seal it with a clear embossing, so I'll get the shine, and then if I get it anywhere else, it's clear. It won't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a clear embossing ink. I won't be a second. There we go. So I'm going to be using Claire's Crystal Clair for this one. Very, very easy. So let's grab our Eureka again. So we're doing 3 cards today. How cool is that? I'll just pop this in our Eureka here, look. Despite me saying it sticks everywhere, I'm still going to do the process of heat embossing. I'm still going to use my anti-static in the hope that it helps a little bit. Probably not, but we'll try. And then move this over here, look, because it's this side. Again, I apologise to all the people that like to craft in the middle, but we're going to the side of this design. So you'll have seen the lovely cards we've done, like this one here, where we've done the clean and classic sort of ink blending behind and the sun rays behind. You'll have seen all of these, and you can go back and watch those videos. So this one's just going to be a bit more quirky, a bit more fresh, a bit more up to date. This would make a great teenager card, you know, if they're going to college or something like that, I suppose. So I'm going to stamp in black, and you have to be quick when you're putting your clear on this black, okay? So stamp it and then get the powder on as quick as you can, because this is a fast drying ink pad, albeit it still stays wet for longer than most. So I'm just inking that stamp up all over. So Aaron's saying he never stops learning. Neither do I, Aaron, as you've seen these last few weeks. Oh, crikey. And thank you to the lovely lady that sent me some samples of the embossing powder with sparkles in as well. I did get them. I thought they were incredible. How have I missed them? That's the problem. But yes, thank you so much for educating me. That's very, very kind. Pretty awesome. Tracy says she cringes when she sees her old cards. Tracy, join the club. Join the club. So I'm just inking this one back up again. Now I'm just going to grab a piece of card and we will quickly throw the clear on. And can you see how that clear's stuck to all of that ink pad? So we should be good to go with that. Now, the stamp is looking pretty lost on there, and when we heat set this, it's going to pretty much disappear, but I think I've got a little bit of an idea to bring it back. We will see, she says. Maybe one day I might come up with a great idea. Oh, what are we like here? So let's just move this out of the way for now. So I'll get my gun hot. So as soon as my gun's hot, I'm going to set this, and it'll go from a sort of matte finish to a shiny glossy. So let me just show you how it looks. It is getting lost, but I'm still going to show you because I think Can you see that on there? It does look pretty awesome, but it is a little bit busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push it back a little bit. So I'm just going to grab my white ink pad, and the one that I use, because I haven't found one better as of yet, is the Ranger, the white. I'm just going to grab my brush. I'm just going to make sure my brush is clean. Get rid of any excess ink on my brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay some white in this corner and push it up, and hopefully it'll bring that stamp design to the foreground. Yeah, sparkly embossing powders. So Claire does 4 collections of sparkly ones, or there's Wow. There are a few on the market. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up some of this white, hopefully. It's picking it up, which is nice. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to blend from this corner up, and hopefully we'll bring this stamp design to the front and push some of that colour back. Hopefully this white will deliver for me. So I'm just going to and it will go onto my stamp, my heat embossed image, but I'll wipe that off after. So I'm just trying to get some of that white to push some of that colour back. So I'll just get that white on there, push that colour back where your design is. I'm not going to do it all because I think it'll look quite pretty if it's bright in this corner. So I'm just going over the stamped area. So it's like a misty morning. Just got a little itch. Do you think it's a nervous itch? Is it going to work? So I'm just going to blend that out so we haven't got like a white line going into the distance. And then you can see here, look, we've lost all of our design, which is fine. Then we'll just take a tissue and hopefully we'll be able to pull that design back, and we'll have sort of pushed that sort of really, let me just clean this first. So you can see we've pushed that colour back over this corner to corner, over there, and then I'm just going to take some clean tissue and give it a brush over and bring that heat embossed image back. So you'll just give it a burnish like so, and then hopefully our design will come to the foreground. And we've pushed that colour back, so our design is now at the forefront. Does that look better? I think that looks quite cool. I'm hoping it's showing better. And I will just hold that up for you so you can see. Now, what was quite a busy design has now been pushed back with that white. Now you could continue with another white layer on top of there to keep pushing that colour back, which is what I'm going to do because I have got time. Right. Oh, so let's just push it back one more time, because you can keep doing this. Get lots of white on there, hopefully. So we're keeping this lovely bright corner. I'm just pushing that colour back underneath there. I think that. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll just burnish it again, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more prominent. And then when you just take a tissue or anything and just give it a burnish, and your design will come back. And then you'll still have that white hue in the background. Might want to wet it maybe a little bit. See if that just takes a little bit more of the white off. You can try it, it's not going to hurt anything. And that looks pretty awesome in my opinion. Does anybody else agree? Cool technique. Did I come up with something new there? Off the cuff thinking, let's just show you on the front here and then we'll get it mounted onto our card. There we go, look, so we pushed that colour back over that corner because before it was completely getting lost, whereas on this occasion we've pulled it back to the foreground by putting that hue of white behind. So let's get this onto our card. So I'll mount it onto that piece of black, which is going to make that corner really pop, isn't it? Look, so you see the bright. Oh, I really like this now. Don't you just love it when things come together? Sometimes you can spend ages on a card. Like I've been prepping some demos this morning and I've been moving it around, adding more colour, adding more layers. I'm thinking, my gosh, I need to start again because today's not going very well. And then we'll mount this onto our white card. And then it just needs a sentiment, doesn't it? Give that another buff. Get that lovely glossy embossing powder. And there we go. There's another card. Whoop, whoop. Just needs a sentiment on that. I might do a rectangular panel here, stamped and mounted on with some foam pads. But there we go. So shall we move on to our third card? So 2 cards down. I'll put them all up at the end to show you. So that's 2 cards, coffee. Thank goodness I had a white ink pad to hand. So next card. So for this card I have a grey top folding note card and a piece of white card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pretty background, but I'm going to paint it today. Rather than go with the picking up of ink, we're going to paint some stripes which are going to hopefully blend into one another. So let's see what we've got on my desk. I've got these 3 colours. Do you think these, let's go with these 3 colours, hey? So I've got chipped sapphire, salty ocean and peacock feathers. So if you are wanting to craft along, I'm going to grab my Eureka and do it on top of my Eureka. So let's use the darkest one of all. So I put some on the top of my Eureka here. Spray it with some water. I might spray the card as well a little bit. So I'll pop a bit of water on the card too, not too much. Just wet my brush. I'm just going to pick up some of this blue here, but I'm not going to take it right to the end. I'm just going to do random. I would like it to be a little bit darker if possible. And then shall we go peacock feathers. Spray it with some water. Just clean my brush. So as you can see, I'm not going like formal. I'm trying to get it a bit sporadic, if that makes any sense at all. And then shall we go salty ocean at the bottom? I don't think it's going to be much of a different colour, to be honest, but we can try. Just going to get some tissue and pick up that puddle there before it... There we go. And then the last colour, which is the Salty Ocean at the bottom. Hopefully we'll have 3 shades of blue going on. It is a little bit different, but when it's all gone into one, you're not going to really tell, I guess. So let me just dry that off. I'm not going to waste any of my ink because I'm going to layer it back on, because I would like it darker if possible. Always dries like 2 shades lighter anyway. So if you put it on and you think, you know what, oh gosh, that's really dark, it probably won't be by the time you've finished. Just pick up those puddles. So I'm not going to dry it completely because I'm going to add more colour. So let's get some more colour on top of, and hopefully, so we use this one first, so and then it was this one, wasn't it? It's getting darker, isn't it? Not much, but it is. So I want it to be like rough around the edges. I want it to look like we've painted it. Okay, so I'm just going to dry that again. And let's try just one more so we can get rid of this colour on my mat and we're not wasting. So pick up that blue. And then the next one, which was this one. And then just clean that brush, take off that water, and then the last blue. So there we go, so there's our sort of textury background. So let's just tidy up. I'm just going to heat set it very quickly. Hey Toni, Julie's saying, hey Toni, got Yorkshire pasties for tea. Got to love a good Yorkshire pasty. What about pork pie and mushy peas? Pork pie and mushy peas, anyone? I need to get this as dry as we can. Okay. Ooh, pork pie and mushy peas. No thanks. No, me neither. Me neither. But I just thought I'd, you know, throw it out there. Right, so let's create this beautiful card. So I have 2 of my rectangle nesting dies. Now the nesting dies are these. It's the big ones, the very, very big ones. And I've taken 2 of the dies from here, and I'm just going to create myself a pretty border. Now, when I say a pretty border, we're not going for matte and layers today, we're doing something different. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this onto this gold mirror board, and what I'm hoping to achieve is when I put one inside the other, the slither in between these 2 designs, sort of this piece that goes in and around here, that's the piece I'm going to use, hopefully. So let me just grab some tape off my machine here. Because we've got this tape all over my machine. Let's just tape this in place. So the big one first and then the little one just sat within as straight as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, we're just using the inner part. There we go. And then we'll just run this quickly through our machine. So I'm not using the inside part and I'm not using the outside part, I'm using the little slither that goes in the middle of, hopefully. I'm just going to pop this through our machine. This is an alternative way instead of your matte and layers, you know, like matte and layer, matte and layer. This is going to be quite a flat card with no matte and layers. The ring is going to act like we've got matte and layers, but we haven't. Amanda's saying, Launch 2 with fish and chips. What about spuds and a swimmer? Spuds and a swimmer's always good. So the bit that we need is this part here. Let me just show you. Move that to one side. It's this part here. So you see this part here? This is what we're going to use, the bit that comes out of the middle of the 2 dies. So let's just set this aside. Right, let's bring in our lovely blue piece of artwork, which looks pretty nice. And our Eureka. And what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to use one of the lovely mannequins, and I'm going to go for the ladies one today. I'm just going to pop her in the centre here, like so. And I'm going to just see if I've got a sentiment on that little set I showed you. See if I've got a little one. Oh, I've got a love always, that might go on. Let's have a look. Let's go there like that. So I've got love always as well. Got it all going on today. Make sure it's straight. So I am going to heat emboss, so I will be anti-staticking this till it's blue in the face. So I'm going to cover it all. I don't want the white powder to stick anywhere but to the anti-static inky. Sticky ink pad. And just because I can, I am going to do it one more time. And I'm going to use the gold. Now you can use white, you could use clear, that would look really effective, but when you use clear you have to catch it in the light. It doesn't look like there's anything on the page until you catch it in the light. Doesn't look like it's caught it all. I'm missing some of my words. I'm going to go with it. I have no choice now, I've moved it. stop talking about food, you're making me hungry. It's not tea time till 6 o'clock. Can I get my gun hot? So it looks like I've missed some of the words. I might have to pen those in, not words, letters, but we'll go for it. So I'm just going to heat set this one. I think I've got away with it actually. I think I've got away with it, which is always a Billy bonus. So let's just show you it on here, look. There we go. Can you just see those words at the bottom? It's just missed it a little bit, but I think we get away with it, don't you? So let's get this onto our card. So we have a grey top folding note card. What we're going to do is we're going to stick this straight in the centre, flat, completely flat. And then the lovely gold frame is just going to sit around there just to embellish it. So does anybody else hold the breath when they're putting glue on? I do. Ooh. So this one is going to sit around our lovely artwork. And because that love always hasn't quite caught, what I'll do is I'll stamp, heat emboss. I'll heat emboss it onto and then 3D it up with some pads, so we've got a little bit of dimension on it. I'll just give that a second to grab. Looks quite arty, Susan says. Something different, isn't it, rather than your traditional matte and layers. Yeah, I'm going to do that love always again, but there we go. See that there? So don't be afraid to experiment with your colours. If you've got some messy ink on your mat from a project, pick it up with a piece of card. I'll just step out of the way just so we can get a shot of that one. And then let's just show you all of the cards together. Pop one to each side. So you'll have to let me know which one. Nathan's just sorting it out for you, but you'll just have to let me know which one do you think you're going to try, if you're going to try any. I'm not going to say which is your favourite. Which one are you going to try and do at home? There we go. So you've got the one where we pushed it back with the whites, you've got your heat embossing on the corner, you've got that black stencil work over the top of colour, and we've also got the sort of arty one there where we've just done that wash ourselves with a brush. It probably could have done with maybe 3 deeper shades of blue so you can see the difference, because it sort of like loses its way towards the bottom, but you know, these things are sent to trials. So I hope you've enjoyed today's studio. Thank you for joining me. Please give it a go, and don't forget to pop a comment on the YouTube after we've finished going live. Do we still have our little inspiration, Nathan? Thank you. So because I've enjoyed myself that much, I forgot to show you our little VT. Stay tuned if you do want to watch it. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow at 3 o'clock with some more inspiration using the lovely It's All About You Poppy collection. See you later, everyone. Bye.